They told the drug companies for years, we're not doing it. We're keeping that pill at $10. We're not going to raise it. And the drug companies said, well, you know, it's unfair. I mean, they're paying 10 times more, sometimes 15 times more. That's okay, let them pay more. We're not paying more than the prices were stuck for years. And no president did anything about it. Sleepy Joe Biden didn't know he was alive. The last thing he cared about was this. He didn't care about anything. He just wanted to make it through. But they cheated. Look, he was surrounded by radical left. Hey, did you see on Mar-a-Lago, did you see how corrupt that was now? It's all come out. Wow, it's all come out. Some life. It's all come out. They were totally corrupt, radical left lunatics. Not stupid people, by the way. He was, but the people that really ran the country and that really ran the auto pen, they were not stupid. But think about what we've done. Under the Trump administration, America will not be ripped off any longer. So can you imagine these countries? And when I told you the example before, from $10 to $20, you know, that doesn't sound like much, but it's a doubling of the price. You know, that's a doubling of the price. And if it went to 30 or 35 or 40, you know, that's still a doubling, tripling, or quadrupling of the price. But I said, at 25% tariff, it's much more money than what you're talking about. So they would say to me, all countries, you know, obviously they said no at the beginning, and they would have told a normal president no, and that would have been the end of the conversation. So they said no to me, and I said, no, you'll do it, 100%. And they said, what's wrong with this? 100%. I said, 100% that you're going to do it. The one asked me, why are you so certain? Why would you say that I would quadruple the price of drugs in France or someplace? I said, because if you don't, we're going to charge you a 25% tariff. That tariff is worth 5 times more money than you're talking about. And there was dead silence on the phone. And then when the gentleman, Emmanuel, is a wonderful guy, when he spoke, he said, you have a deal. Have a deal. He's a nice guy, too. But you can't blame him, you know, this has been 40, 50 years, you can't blame him. But it was the same conversation with everybody. No, we can't do that, no, I cannot double the price of my drugs. I said, no, maybe triple or quadruple. But it's still much lower than we were paying. You know, we were paying a number that was crazy, 13, 14 times more. As president, I'm also taking in the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of government subsidies. And I want the money to go directly to the people. I want the money to be paid directly to the people so that they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. By the way, what I told you about buying the drugs at this massive dollar discount, it's like from where it is, that's going to have a huge impact on the cost of health care. The current Unaffordable Care Act, commonly known as Barack Hussein Obamacare, was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see now that the steep increase in premiums, it's being demanded by the Democrats. It was never any good, Obamacare. It was done for the benefit of insurance companies, which totally control the Democrats. That's why you could have a strike on January 30th. You could have another shutdown because the Democrats are totally in the hands of, they're totally controlled by the insurance companies, big wealthy companies. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care, and you'll get much better health care at a much lower price. And the only losers will be the insurance companies that have gotten rich. How about these companies? Some of them have gone up 1,400%, their stock prices. One, I think, went up 1,700%. How many people have ever bought a stock that went up 1,700%? And think of it. They've taken in billions and billions of dollars, and the Democrat Party is also just, look, I don't know what they're going to do, because I don't know how anybody beats us when we say that we want the money to go to the people so you can buy your own health care. How can it ever be better than that? I wanted to do that at the beginning in 2016, but the politicians told me, sir, I was a little bit inexperienced. I've never done this before. Now I'm quite experienced. I've seen things that nobody would have thought possible. But I said, why do we have this crazy Obamacare, or as we call it, the unaffordable, isn't that a great name, the Affordable Care Act? I call it the Unaffordable Care Act. I should get credit. That's a good one. What's better, that or fake news? That or Pocahontas? That? I can't use the names that I used on the Republicans to gain access to the election, but we had some good names, didn't we? But I think the Unaffordable Care Act is pretty good. The UCA, right? They keep talking about the ACA. Think of that. Instead of the ACA, we call it the UCA. The UCA, they say, what is that? The Unaffordable Care Act? It is unaffordable. But it was always no good. But now it's really gone. And with time, it gets worse. Now it's going to be hit big. Remember, I didn't do this. This is Obamacare. This is Obamacare. This isn't Trump. But you don't need it, because let the money not go to the insurance companies. The problem is the Democrats will shut down the government because they are totally beholden. I don't love that word, but they're beholden, they're beholden to the insurance companies. So I don't know what they can do about it, but they'll probably close down the government. It's so simple. The money should go to the people. The people should then take all of this money and buy the best health care there is. And there'll be a lot of money left over. Right?